Hi everybody, this is Natalie again. I'm coming to you about a little waterfall that I wanted to show my daughter how to do. Hopefully this helps her. You're going to need a 3" by 12" cardstock. You're going to fold it in half like this. Okay? That is 3" by 12. And you're going to fold it in half. I'm reading, by the way. I had to write it all down. The cardstock, or you can score it. You can score the cardstock too. I just fold it right in half. And then you're going to then half it up all the way up an inch. Each one of these are an inch. Just go to the score line or the half mark point until you reach the fold. The cardstock squares, okay, which are going to be on here, are going to be 3" by 2. Now, this is a small waterfall for a small book. Then you're going to cut the strips out. It's going to be made of cardstock or whatever you use. And then I'm going to show you, I'm making it on this book, which is really small. Okay, so you're going to either glue or tape these cards that you cut out that are measured at 3" by 2" to, not to the, you're going to go to the score line. You're not going to go on the score line. You're going to go to the score line. So I'll put the first one on and I'll show you if my glue comes out. See how I'm doing this right here? I put 2 already. You're going to line it up a little underneath the score line. I'm using glue because I have no score tape. Okay, and the second one. Maybe I should use my tacky glue. That. You want to make sure it's even though. You don't, if it's not even, it's not going to work. You don't need a lot of glue. Just a strip. And you're going to need 8 of them, of the squares. And again, the measurements are for the long cardstock that I folded in half is 3" by 12, 12" by 3. And then the squares that I'm putting on are 3" by 2". It's a pretty small waterfall. And I didn't create this. I only created a small waterfall, not a big one for the big books. It's a real small waterfall, so yeah, it's just a small waterfall. And if you're using wet glue, you're going to want to let it dry a little bit. With score tape, usually the red or the The other kind of tape, it works fine. You can do it right away. You can score it down. You can use your bone folder. But with glue, you want to be kind of careful. And it doesn't take that much glue. I usually use a lot of glue. I learned my lesson on that. Because you run out of glue fast. So, plus it makes it really messy. And I'm already at the 6-inch mark. So I hopefully this dries quick. I don't want to keep up any time here. I'm just showing my daughter this. There's no other way. She lives in Florida, so that's pretty far. And I got one more to go, but I gotta hold this down because it's wet glue. So, and again, I'm gonna tell you the measurements for the third time. I am going to tell you 3 inches by 12 cardstock, whichever cardstock you want to use. You fold it in half. The cardstock, you can score it, or you can just fold it in half. And then you're going to score. You want to score the lines, of course. You want to score them to give it that nice movement to the waterfall. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm not in camera here. I'm sorry. But I will show you. I showed you in the beginning a little bit of it. And you want to make sure it's all even, all the same size. And there's more to this waterfall I need to show you too, but let's see if I can get around to this. Okay, hopefully it doesn't fall apart on me. Okay, so far this is what you have. You have the waterfall. It's not decorated yet, anyway. Now what you want to do is let me let this dry a little bit more, but when you want to cut a strip out, the width of the book that you're making, not the length, the width across. And you want room to make sure you can close your book. Because if you don't do that, your book's not going, the waterfall and the book together, it's just probably going to fall apart. And then you're going to need another strip or a little tab to pull the waterfall from the, I'll show you in a minute. Let me get this glued. Sorry that I don't have tape. You know how glue stays wet for a bit. But I am making a book. I can show you that while that glues a little bit. I'm making another book. I seem to do my book covers better. And this is with cardstock. And you got pockets. This one, I learned not to do it on the score line. So, it is taking me a while here on YouTube. Hopefully I get some views, and hopefully somebody says, hey, oh, that's what she did. She put it on the score line instead of the outside of the score line. You know what I mean? It's like, how's your book gonna move? And I was wondering that. So I look at YouTube every day, and I'm trying to teach myself how to make better books. So as you can see, it lays flat like a book. They fold now, and that's the back and the spine. And you should have seen the inside. It was great. It was good making. I made them myself. I cut them out, made it myself. So back to the waterfall. Let's see what's going on here. And it's gonna go in that book. This waterfall is. You want to make sure it's glued. If it's not glued right, if you only have glue, I mean, if you're working with glue, then people can just understand that. To make it stronger, the tape sometimes seems to, I don't know, rip off. With me, it does anyway. With glue, it doesn't. But I gotta let it set, so. Okay, next you're going to take the strip. Remember, it's the width of your book. It's going to be the width of your book. Okay, make sure the score line, make sure you can close your book. Excuse me. And you're going to take it, and what you're going to do is you're going to even it up with the book here. Okay. Underneath this part, you're going to glue it this way. Let me get a better, you're going to tape it or glue it. I glue it. And you're going to let it set, of course. But you want to even it with the book, the width of the book. So you're going to set it down on your book. And you're going to put it on top like that. You're not going to glue it like that. You're only gluing this to that strip. I'll show you in a minute. Let me get this seed and I'll show you. And if you need to trim it, if it's too long, you can do that. You glue the up here. This part's glued underneath. You're going to take your strip and you're going to glue it right there. You don't have to decorate it first. You can decorate it afterwards. It's going to be like that. See how the back is not glued? It's just the waterfall part. You'll see in a minute. Let this set. Gotta let it set. It's glue. After you're done with doing that, you're going to take only, I'm turning it around, take only these two little pieces on the side and glue it to your book. it's going to be glued right there. But before you want to do that, let me show you something else. Now, you got your strip. It's already glued. Now the back part, what you're going to do is you're going to take another strip or like a pull tag, and you're going to glue it on the back one. Only the pull tag. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to let that set. And glue, I know, it's glue. Takes time. And it should look like this. See how that is? I believe this is the smallest waterfall I've come around to doing. I did a bigger one, and it took my whole book up. I was like, well, where's the book? For crying out loud. Okay, let's get this glued. Let's get this puppy glued down here to the book. Remember, only these two strips. See how I got this? I put this on to mark it to show you where the glue goes, but it only goes in the back of the strip. Not the tag part, not the pull down part, because you can see how it's coming together. Okay? Well, you're going to glue these two to the book. And it doesn't need much glue. Just like that. And then glue it down to your book. Let it set. And like I said, only if you have glue. You gotta hold it till it sets. You don't want to tear your book. The pull tab is in the back that it shows. So you'll get a better understanding when this is glued. You'll see how it is if you don't already know already. So it's not glued yet, so I gotta wait. And she lives all the way in Florida, so you know, I want to teach her this. And she's young, you know, she should know some kind of art. She knows a lot of art, but I mean, she should learn this. This is pretty cool, I think. She wanted to learn. Okay, I don't know if it's glued all the way yet, so it's gonna look like this. Okay. You see the tab pull part I put on there? Right here? That's gonna pull down. Okay. These two are glued. I don't want to pull it right now because I'm afraid it's going to fall apart and I'm going to look stupid. So, I'm going to give it a little bit more time here. Let's see. And if you want, you can go through it and see, hold this part down where you glued and kind of like bend up the waterfall parts of the squares so they'll move better. Like that. Something like that. And sometimes you gotta wiggle it in there too, so it's thick. Okay. And this is your waterfall, hopefully. Let's see. Still needs to dry, but hopefully you get the idea. You're gonna let that dry. Here, I'm trying to blow on the damn thing. Here we go. Let's see if it works now. And you just bring it up and wiggle it in there somehow. Like that, yeah. Still wet. And that is your waterfall. But you gotta let it dry. Okay, so there it is. And then you can close your book. A little longer than I thought it was, but it still works. And you can put notes up here. My favorite part of making a book is the cover. I like making the cover part. From my end, it's seeming to work fine. Now it's not going to go all the way down, but it's like a waterfall. It's just, you know. See the parts that don't fold up? You want to. That. And that hides in there. It's loose right now because there's nothing on it. There's no designer paper on it. Okay, that's the waterfall. Hopefully you got that. Alright, thank you for watching.